Greetings, everyone. Gary Wagner here of 800 Biz Ninja Marketing and the Ninja Marketing Dojo. Today in my office, I have a special guest with me. I have Benjamin Goldberg. Ben is the managing partner of Enlightened Advisors Wealth Management Group. Ben does a fantastic job with financial planning. It's all something we should be concerned about, no matter what age we are, because whether we're just starting out, whether we're midlife, whether we're coming near retirement, there are strategies we need to be aware of, and Ben provides a fabulous service to help you reach whatever your financial goals are. So, Ben, welcome to my office.
Thank you very much, Gary.
So, Ben, give us a little background about how you got into this business, what your background is, and kind of what your philosophy is.
I suppose you could say I got started in 1995. I started working for America Online right at the beginning of the tech ascendance, the tech bubble, and I was given stock options. The stock options split 6 times, and so I had, at a young age, a lot of money. I did what I thought was the right thing, and I went to a financial advisor, and I didn't really get the best advice. I rode that roller coaster all the way up and all the way back down. And I think if I had the right advice at the right time, then I would be retired right now. And so the tech good times came to an end. I found a new career helping people to make sure that what happened to me didn't happen to anybody else. I believe in the value of the right advice at the right time. It can make all the difference in the world for somebody's future. So I wound up working at A.G. Edwards to start off with. That was 2006. And that was right as the next good times were about to end. So I was front row center for the Great Recession. And it was very educational as a financial advisor to help clients through that. My company made a couple of changes, so I wound up moving locations, moving companies. Long story short, I founded my own firm, Enlightened Advisors Wealth Management. The enlightened part means that we have processes and proven methods to help you get the best risk-adjusted return for your level of risk. We take the time to understand you as an investor and as a person, to make sure we understand your values, what money means to you. It means something different for everybody. We work with all types of clients, all types of households. In particular, we like helping those that have been traditionally underserved in the past by the advisor community. And we customize every portfolio, every recommendation for what we think is best for you.
It's absolutely critical that we have someone that we can trust when it comes to finances, because it can be confusing and it easily listen to the wrong advice or try to do things on our own and make mistakes, where a financial advisor like yourself can guide and direct your clients to make the right choices and move toward the goal. So with the number of financial advisors and firms in town, what makes you different? What do you do with your clients that's different than other advisors?
That's a very critical, important question for every advisor to answer for themselves. What makes me different is the approach that we take to portfolio construction. And what I mean is that, let's say you're an investor with 5 years to go and you want to grow your money. First of all, if you are positioning your portfolio for growth, you're not going to want to really touch it for sooner than 5 years, or even longer if you can. We know that time in the market will give you the growth eventually. So you don't have a need to touch that money for many years. But what other advisors do is they put you in a mutual fund program, or maybe ETFs. Investments that aren't bad. They might be very well managed. They might be a diverse portfolio. But guess what? They're fully liquid from day one. If you wanted to, you could take your IRA and cash it out and be completely out of the market. But is that good? Are you going to do that? Probably not. And so the approach we take uses the idea that you're not going to necessarily touch your money for a number of years. You don't need a lot of liquidity. You don't need the liquidity that mutual funds or ETFs offer. So we take that and we use that as a lever. We think traditionally that there are just two things to balance. There's risk and return. If we want more risk, rather, if we want less risk, we have to accept less return. If we want a higher return, we have to take on more risk of losing what we started with. But that's where that third dial comes in. That's what we bring to the picture is liquidity control. If you don't need access to all of your money at once, then why put it in an investment that lets you have everything you need at once? That doesn't help you. You're not using your resources to their fullest advantage. So the portfolios we put together, we sacrifice some liquidity for more of what you want. More protection if things go south, more gain when things do right. I look forward to teaching you in person exactly how we put together a portfolio for you and use all the resources at your disposal to get you the results that you want.
I think that's a great approach because it's so important to have a custom tailored plan that's built just for you rather than an off the shelf can plan that yeah this works for everybody. I'll use the same approach. So what you do I think is a welcome approach to developing that one-on-one guidance that your clients needs. A lot of my clients are business people. So what are some things that they need to know about their financial plan? There are so many things that business owners that, we have to understand the tax strategies and we need to understand exit strategies and retirement strategies. And how can you help business people develop a sound financial strategy for them and their business?
Great question. For business owners specifically, one of their primary concerns is taxes. At least if they're successful business owners, they have typically good income and a lot of time to make sure that they use it the right way. I know a lot of business owners, what they earn, they like to put back into the business. That's their primary investment. They invest in themselves. They invest in what they created. My role is, at least when it comes to taxes, anything that you're not spending, I'll find a way to defer taxation on that until the day comes your business is maybe no longer yours. Maybe when you sell it. And that's where the other helpful part of having a partner comes in too. A financial advisor that's with you the whole way as a business owner understands what is needed when the time comes to transition away, to cash in, to retire, to turn the life's work into something that you want to do and to realize the fulfillment of all your labor. I would view myself as a quarterback for your team. As you transition, me, working for you, we have a tax professional, we have a legal professional, and the four of us make sure that you get exactly what you need as a business owner. Get what you deserve.
That's great advice. I think the aspect of having a trusted advisor as part of the team and having a team approach to your business plan is an important component. I like the analogy of being the quarterback of the team. So great analogy there. What are some common mistakes people make with their finances? I know I've made several mistakes over my lifetime when it comes to investments and finances. And so I'm sure I'm not the only one. So what are some common mistakes people make?
Valuable question, Gary. Avoiding problems is probably the best way to achieve financial success. We're all good at finding ways to earn it, but keeping it is a little more challenging sometimes. I would say some of the mistakes people make are not using all the tools available to them. For example, just having the right account. If you're retiring in a few years, you get a lot of time for your money to grow. So look into a Roth IRA instead of a traditional IRA. Just as a quick example, the more growth there is, the more money you save, the more money winds up in your pocket. Probably even more important though, Gary, is a mistake people make underestimating the effect of really their own investor psychology. It's kind of a tough subject sometimes to bring up with people because you're telling them sometimes maybe what they think is wrong with them. But it's not that. We're all human. We all tend to make the same kind of judgments and sometimes errors. And so not respecting investor psychology is one of the biggest mistakes people made. What I mean is, if you're in the market and the market's heading south, we tend to buy high when things are great and sell low when things are scary. And that's a quick way to lose money. So processes we have at Enlightened Advisors are designed very specifically to make sure that you stay in when you need to stay in, you're buying when you're buying, sometimes selling when we need to sell. But usually we sell to capture gains and stay in through the downtimes and make sure that you're comfortable doing it. We make sure that the investor psychology for you is really how it needs to be to achieve that success in the end.
That's so important to have a strategy that is directed out of plan rather than out of fear or impulse, or doing things that we reaction rather than out of following the plan. So I'm sure that that's what you do. I know that's a valuable asset for your business clients as well as your individual clients. We hear a lot about, you can't turn on the TV without hearing a commercial for online trades, for do-it-yourself, for the XYZ company. You put your money in and you can be trading overnight, and make it so easy that you can get your goals and your plans and everything done right there online. So how is your business similar and are different from the online do-it-yourself type companies?
Sure. Why not use a robot, right? So let me get really, really specific. I've talked before about taking leverage, liquidity that you don't need. If you don't need quick access to your money, why have it in mutual funds that let you cash out whenever you want? I've talked about changing that liquidity for things that you do want, more return for less risk, right? We have a third dial to move. I've also talked about investor psychology, how to make sure that when you're in the market and the markets aren't delivering growth, you stay in until they do. Make sure that, if things are high, there's gains to capture. Let's take a little bit. You don't go poor taking gains. So how do we do that very specifically? And it's a way that you can't do with a robot, you can't do at a bank, you can't do with an insurance agent, you can't do with anybody other than an advisor like myself, fee only, works only for your best interests. I use what are called structured products. Structured products are put together by banks. There's whole batches that come out every month. And at the end of the month, if you wanted to buy it, well, then you settle that purchase at the end of the month. And so, for example, structured note might be very simple. It might be tied to the S&P 500 index, so offers all the growth of the stock market, and it might have a limit of 5 years. So if you agree to basically leave it alone for 5 years, that note might give you all of the return of the S&P 500, a 100% stock portfolio. But if things go south, it might protect 25% of loss. They might absorb, that bank that put that note out, might absorb the first 25% of loss. So if it's down after 5 years, 20%, you get all your money back. If it's down 30%, you're down 5%. So it doesn't fully protect all of your money. It's possible to lose money, but it sure makes the pain a lot less. It makes you get something for your being hands off, as you should be if you're in pursuit of growth. And you know what? If markets are shaky, but the bank is going to absorb the first 25% of your loss, you're more inclined to stick with it. At maturity, that benefit is applied. So hang on to maturity. And you know what? Let's say the market's down 25%. You get your money back. Now you can buy back into a market that's down 25%. Buy another structured note, do it again. Structured notes come tied to all kinds of stock indices, foreign, domestic, metals, currency, interest rates. A very diversified portfolio can be put together using structured products from a variety of different banks at once. You won't really get the kind of mix you need, I think, if you only stick with one bank. I have access to about 8. So that's something that a robot can't do. It can't tailor your portfolio to make sure you have the right mix of safety and growth and liquidity. You need an advisor. You need a real person to know you to put together something that gives you more of what you want, gives you more return with less risk.
That's so true. A robot can automate a process, but they cannot analyze and get the human side and get the emotional side and get the full scope of what's happening. So that's where you come in, and that's why it's such a valuable service, and that's why it's hard to turn your finances over to an automated service without somebody to guide you along the way. So how can somebody get in touch with you if they're interested and seeing what you can do for them? What's the best way for someone to get in touch with you?
Perfect question, Gary. The short answer is I am Ben at enlightenedadvisors.com. It's ADVISORS, not ERS. I keep getting spell checked on that. ORS. And I am at 520-661-4602. And certainly see me online, enlightenedadvisors.com. And I can't give any advice without talking first, but I would love the chance to see what we can do.
Ben, thanks for coming in. We appreciate you taking the time to give my listeners an insight into what you do, and hopefully they can, and I definitely would recommend that you contact Ben if you have financial questions, you want to see what he can do, give him a shot, give him a call and talk with him. As he said, he can't give you any advice without talking first, but Ben is a wealth of information, and I would highly recommend that you take a few minutes, sit down with him, and let him talk to you about what your goals are and see what he can do to help guide you and direct you in that situation. As always, I'm Gary Wagnon, 800 Biz Ninja Marketing and the Ninja Marketing Dojo. Watch for more interviews with local business people that are fantastic resources that are coming up in the near future. You can check those out at my website at ninjamarketingdojo.com. And if you're interested in help with any of the social media sites, any of your digital marketing strategies, then I would love to help you. Ninja Marketing Dojo is there to offer you hands-on training, tips and tricks, videos, and a wealth of information there. So thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next video.